Hey everybody, welcome back to Survival Heights, by 1.16 Amplified Hardcore Survival Series. Now, done a few things since the last episode that I want to show off to start off today, but yeah, once again, it's been a little bit since the last episode, and like I said, I got some progress, but first off, once again, apologies. It's been a interesting few months. As many of you who I've talked to on stream, which by the way, if you don't follow me on Twitch, definitely recommend that, will already know. But if we go ahead, head off this way, I can show you some of the things that we've done. Now, the first thing I'm sure you notice is all the cows. This is a Twitch stream thing. I have a little redemption on there where people can, if they get enough Twitch channel points, release all the cows in that cow pen. So you'll see a few stragglers of cows here and there from that. But as you can see, I can hear the disappointment right now. Yeah, we already went ahead and did this entrance to the mineshaft, and a lot, and I mean a lot, of the mineshaft has gotten done. I want to work out a little bit of this today for today's episode, along with some other things. But if you take a little bit of a tour here, you can see the very entrance of this area. I added in some blackstone and some stone and some leaves and vines. I think it looks pretty good. At the very front here, you can see some of the storage I have on the sides. This is meant to be mine storage. So on this side, we have a whole bunch of stone. And on this side, we have a whole bunch of, I think, diorite, andesite, and granite on this side, which I'll be storing here. I thought about adding in some dirt or some gravel and things like that. Or maybe some storage for ores as well, but we'll think about that down the road. But if we head forward, you can see, oh man, ceilings in. We got all these quartz pillars in, which are pretty dang cool. And we have leaves and vines all the way down to the water drop. And this thing has been coming along. It's taken a lot of hours. We're over, I believe, 120 hours now in this world. So yeah, it's taken quite a bit of time, but that's kind of what the streaming has been for. So we head down here, you guys can sort of see as we head down the staircase. I haven't quite finished the lighting on the sides, but you can see the pillars of oak and the basalt pillars, the leaves along the sides. I want to add in a few more vines as well. I think that'll be a pretty cool little addition to the sides here, but there's still a little bit of progress left to be made, and probably some string to be putting there. I probably need to put an edge actually on that over there, because there's no actual reason for vines to be coming down there, so I should probably put some sort of border on this side there, and that would make a lot more sense. But as we head down here, once we get to the bottom, you'll see some of the stuff I've been doing. I have been working on the mine shafts themselves. As you can see, some of the archways here, I replaced this with polished basalt. Got these puddles. This is actually a little suggestion someone gave me. Adding in puddles, adding in stairs, and then having this little the waterlogged stairs as puddles, which I think is a pretty cool idea. Some buttons on the floor as little rocks, but as you can see, the mine shaft design is coming along. We're gonna have these little branch mines every 3 blocks, 2 high, 2x1 branch mining areas on either side. I don't know how far down I want this to go just yet, but as of right now, this is what it looks like, which I think is pretty cool. This lantern design was another suggestion from someone. Basically, it's a lever on top that's powered on with a chain and a lantern, and I think it looks pretty dang cool. It fits the area, and I really like it. And of course, as you can see, we have one on each side, one mine shaft area over here, another one over here. And I'm also thinking, you can see these pillars here. I'm thinking I'm gonna leave this little area in between here open, in between all the mine shaft areas. I'm not quite sure what to do with this one yet, since the mine shafts are gonna go that way. But we might do something with this. We might make this a big mine shaft or something. I don't know, without any branch mines. We'll kind of see. We'll kind of sort of figure out what to do with that as we go along. But you can see a more complete roof up here. This is the other side of the mine shaft over here. Haven't done the floor yet. That's one thing I want to do today. I want to see if we can finish at least a few first parts of these in today's episode. And so by the end of it, we have a much more complete looking mine shaft area. I think that'll be a pretty fun thing to do. But as we head back around, you can see the underside of the staircase here. Not entirely sure what to do with this side either. Honestly, I'll probably just leave it as is, because there's not a whole lot that really can be done there. But I think for now, for now it looks pretty good. We got these sides here to finish, which I think I'm going to be doing pretty dang soon. But yeah, we've got quite a bit done here, and honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. So to start off today, I want to go ahead and finish this mineshaft area. I want to go ahead and finish some of the interior stuff. Actually, if you see behind me, you'll see that the roof isn't completely done. So that's one of the things I want to work on today, getting as much of that done as possible, as well as finishing the interior sections down there, along with There's something else I want to do later on in today's episode, but I won't spoil it just yet. Let's get working on this mineshaft first, folks, and I'll keep you all interested for the second half. It's something that's quite needed, but we'll get to it later. Mineshaft work first. Let's go. Did you really think I was gonna make you watch this entire replay and have no sort of commentary to it, Did you? Did you really? No way. I'm not a big fan of replays and different time lapses in which there's no commentary, so of course I'm gonna add some commentary to it. But as you can see going on, I'm working on finishing the walls as well as then working on the mineshaft areas, adding in leaves and detailing all of the branch mines. And a little later on, you'll see me work on the roof of the mineshaft, which by the end of this will not be done. But watching this back and looking at all the stuff I've done, I realized the importance of adding leaves and the importance of adding more colors and stuff into this mineshaft. As you can see, there's a lot of basalt, there's a little bit of wood, but it's mostly blackstone. There's a tiny bit of quartz, but it's mostly blackstone. And that's kind of boring to look at. It's very dark, and it's very difficult to really make details pop if it's all just one kind of stone. It's all blackstone. Granted, there's blackstone bricks and regular blackstone, but what I want to do with this mineshaft is make sure that as we go along, we're detailing it, we're adding leaves, we're adding those little things. You'll see some of the lanterns that go on as well are a lever with a chain and a lantern attached to it. That's actually something that someone had told me about. Those little details, those little details are the most important things whenever you're decorating a mineshaft like this. And this mineshaft has been the majority of this world. I'm pretty sure of the 135 plus hours that we have in this world at this point, probably about 70 to 80 of them have been just this mineshaft, which is insane. It's the most amount of time I spent on a single project to begin a world ever, and I think it's paying dividends. It's really doing this world justice. It's making a complete project that I really, really enjoy. Unfortunately, you guys haven't really seen a whole lot of this mineshaft, and that's a change I need to do moving forward, because I know a lot of you guys are probably frustrated that I haven't shown as much of this. And you're like, wow, what is all this? Why you do all these progress updates and there's just so much going on that we don't get to see. And you're right, you don't get to see it. A lot of times I do this either partially off camera or I do this on stream, and I don't do the replays. I don't use replay mod or do any sort of time lapses for it, and that's something that needs to change, because you all deserve to see this. I really want to include some of this in videos. It's been very difficult to figure out exactly how to put this into videos because, well, it's a whole bunch of the same thing for about 10 to 20 hours for the most part. So moving forward, I want to use these replays a lot more to show you all a lot more of what's happening in the world, as well as commentate over what's happening. So moving forward, something I definitely want to do. But without further ado, this is coming to a close. Thank you all so much for watching today, and let's get right back into the video. Oh boy, do I have some progress to show you. As you can see at the very ceiling here, all that stuff is now finally done. As you saw in the time lapse, I got all the way up to about the second or third level of the ceiling, and then I had to do all this. Well, I didn't have to, but I did all of this off camera. So as you can see, we put in some oak beams here. I thought that looked the best. They jut out just a little bit. They're not really flush with the ceiling that was already there, just to give a little bit of some depth and interest there. You can see all the leaves hanging from the ceiling, as well as a lot of these lanterns. There's all kinds of lanterns around here. I don't think I'm going to add vines on the sides. I was going to add some vines. I talked with some few people who said that may not be the best idea. It looks pretty good as is. You can also see in the middle here that the beacon color I've now changed from a green to a blue, and there's a water stream going all the way down, and that's something that was suggested to me. I think it looks pretty cool, so we'll probably keep it like that. But yeah, oh, and as you can see, I added in a whole bunch of basalt, just regular basalt there, and you can see some of the polished basalt on the sides. I just added in a little bit of color contrast and texture contrast to the ceiling. And if we step back, I really, really like how this looks. I think it fits this area pretty perfectly. And this mineshaft then, folks, this mineshaft is pretty much complete. We do have, I think, a few things, maybe some vines in some small places, but apart from that, this thing is pretty much complete now. It's about time. This thing has taken way too long. It's taken most of the hours in this world actually to do, so I'm glad that it's finally done. But folks, we're on to the second half of today's episode now. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a very small surprise for you. Not really a surprise, it's probably in the title, so it probably wasn't even a surprise to begin with, but in today's episode, to finish things off, I want to go ahead and build ourselves an Enderman farm. It's about time we got ourselves a better XP farm than that XP grinder, that mob grinder that I built a few episodes back. So let's head on over into the end. I actually have a few things here. I'll explain a little bit of what the Enderman farm design is, but we're going to be using a lot of glass. There's going to be some redstone for some item sorting, as well as some blocks for sort of a spawning platform, and leaves to sort of pillar out with. We actually might need more leaves than this. I just want to make sure that nothing spawns on the pathway out to where the platform's going to be. So folks, without further ado, let's head out into the end, and I'll show you all what the project is, or how we're going to build, I guess, this Enderman farm and what the design is. So here we are in the end, out here in the void, ready to build an Enderman farm. And you may be surprised, I'm not going to be using the same design that I've used for many worlds now. I will, however, be using a design that I've already used before. Technically, I haven't built it, but I've used it on the Afterlife server. Quick shout out to my good friend GP and fellow Afterlife SMP member. He made a tutorial on the Enderman farm that I'm about to use, so definitely recommend checking him out. I'll put a link to his video tutorial down in the description, as well as in the top right hand corner of your screen for you all to check out. I will do a little bit of sort of going over the process of what order I do things in, but in terms of if you want an actual tutorial on how to build this Enderman farm, I highly recommend checking out GP's tutorial down in the description or in the top right hand corner. But without further ado, folks, let's get on into this Enderman farm. This Enderman farm gets built from the bottom up, so the first thing I had to do was actually make the floor of which I could stand on in order to make the redstone contraptions that go into the killing floor. So I went ahead, water bucketed down, built out a platform of leaves, and started work on the actual killing machine for these Endermen. And I was kind of all over the place in doing this, but the way I did things was as follows. I built the item sorting machine first, all the redstone for that, realized that I built in the wrong place, so that then I had to tear that down and redo it. Then I built the mechanism for turning on and off the ender pearl usage in terms of actually storing or throwing away ender pearls. Then I placed down all the hoppers I would need. And finally, I finished up with the actual mechanism for shooting ender pearls into the void if I didn't want them. In order to get this thing to work, I had to fill every hopper that was next to the comparators as shown on your screen with a pearl in every slot. And once I had done that, I could go back up to the top, throw some ender pearls into the hoppers, and as you can see, ender pearls dispense into the void. And once I was done with that, no need for the platform, so there goes the platform. Once the killing floor was done, all I had to do was build the chute out of glass, of which the Enderman would fall down, all the way up to the Y level that was needed, build out the semicircle platform, and build in the cage for the Endermite to stand there, and then get myself an Endermite, which actually wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. I was fortunate the Endermite ended up getting trapped behind some rails, and because of that, it made it a little bit easier to get the Endermite into a minecart, and which, when I sent the minecart into its slot on the glass where it was supposed to be, Endermen started flocking to it, and once I removed all the torches, it was a pretty good farm. Well, folks, that is GP's Enderman farm. Once again, link is down in the description below. This is going to serve us quite well. I actually have the feature currently turned off to collect ender pearls. Some of them do, it seems like, get out of here. You can sort of hear the dispenser clicks in the background. You can hear all the ender pearls falling down, but yeah, I can always, there's a lever over here, I can turn this on, then I'll just get ender pearls on top. Once all the hoppers, I believe, fill up, then I can just get ender pearls galore. But if I don't want the ender pearls, turning that off should allow the dispensers to get rid of the ender pearls. So hopefully this will serve us pretty well, which I think it will, and we'll be doing lots of tool repairing here in the future. But folks, the Enderman farm is now complete. I do have a design for this that I want to do, but we're not going to do it in today's episode. Instead, I think it's about time that we wrap things up here for today. Let's go on back over to the base to end things off for today's episode. So there's something some of you have seen and most of you probably haven't. As you can see, the ladders here are gone. I added a very small feature to this world not too long ago. So if I press this button, secret door leads to a water stream that goes all the way up. Instead of using a ladder, we now have a way of getting up and down. I get down basically just by using the elytra. I can go up using the elytra as well, but what I normally do if I don't want to use up any elytra durability is I just hit this button, go through here. This whole area still needs decorated, then head up this water stream right here, all the way to the top, and voila, we're up to the base, which is still here. It's still our small base. Still got our cows here, still our enchantment setup. I still haven't brought over a villager over to here, which I would like to do at some point, but I have bigger plans for this base. And I guess since the Mineshaft is done now, we might have some time to get into a bigger build project, which may or may not involve the mountains that are behind me. I have some plans for a base. I'm not going to go too far into it. I haven't really planned too much out, but my plan, part of my plan anyways, is to use the interiors of this mountain and sort of build out from there. So it may include some storage, may include some different farms and whatnot within this base, but there's a lot left to do here, and it's all hardcore Minecraft, so hopefully we don't die before it happens, but who knows, we could die anyway along the way. But folks, that's gonna do it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Survival Heights. Hopefully you all enjoyed. I know it's been a little bit since the last episode, but hopefully you all still enjoyed the stuff that we did in today's episode. Anyways, folks, like I said, that's going to do it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new and or not already subscribed. But thanks for watching, peeps, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye.